guys, what's up? It's me. I'm back to recording with a blanket over my window. So I'm home for Thanksgiving / winter break, which for me is like 5 to 6 weeks. So enjoy technical difficulties while I try to figure out how to do this again. Because blanket over my window. Because the lighting in my room is great for selfies. Terrible for anything else. So this is chapter 4, So That's How It Is, which is the most Salem title that I think we've gotten yet, just because that seems to be her general... She kind of almost has, like, the demeanor of Mother Gothel from Tangled, but less maternal, of just like, oh, Rapunzel knows best. Like, it's very much that demeaning, so that's how it is. Like, oh, you think you can do this now. So this is a pretty short episode. It's only 13 minutes, and I'm kind of glad, because RWBY needs the break after the monumental storm that was last week, because last week was just, I can't even imagine how much that was on RWBY. That must have taken so much time and so much effort, and they need a break. And I saw some people who were complaining that it's only 13 minutes long, and it's like, y'all remember when the whole show is like 13 minutes long? Like, the series premiere and the finale would be like 13 minutes and everything else would be like 5 to 6 minutes, and sometimes we had to wait 2 weeks in between episodes because RWBY was like 8 people. So let RWBY have a break, please. I feel like a lot of people don't always realize that this isn't like a 300 person animation company, and people very easily forget that. It's not like a 300 person animation company working on one show either. It's like 300, it's less than 300 people working on like 3 3D animated shows and two 2D animated shows. So that. Anyway, I'm excited. I want to see what my evil mom is up to. My less hot mom. She's not as hot as she once was, which makes me sad. I still love this OP. I cannot wait. Like, I miss when the singles used to be dropped before the show, but at the same time, my wallet appreciates that they're not. I started figuring something with the piano already, actually. I'm waiting for a new notebook of sheet music editing because I'm trying to figure out a piano version of this and of Miracle. Also, I am getting sick, so I apologize if I'm really stuffy, or especially for next week if I'm really, really stuffy. But I'm out of school and my immune system is just like, time to die, I guess. Just the way we may, the sparrows born to fly, the mountains tower. Hey, Taquito. Rose to reach the sea, rain will help the flowers be. We're the same, you and me. The lightning doesn't take advice from anyone. That bitch. Himst. My boy! Also, thank you for everyone who was telling me what Little Miss Muffet was from, because I had no idea what Little Miss Malachite was a reference to, because I didn't really read a lot of fairy tales growing up. So people were saying it's like, oh, nice reference to Little Miss Muffet, and I was like, I don't know who that is, but cool, fam. So thank you to everyone who like let me know what that was, because I honestly had no idea.
Salem can't be killed. You all heard her too, right?
Oof. Oh!
There was so much you hadn't told us. How could you think that was okay?
You're yelling at Oscar, not Ozpin.
Professor? What is your plan to defeat Salem?
Ooh.
I don't have one.
Oh no, it is Ozpin. Don't punch the child! Oh! Yeet!
No one wanted me. I was cursed.
Oh.
I gave my life to you because you gave me a place in this world. I thought I was finally doing some good.
But you are.
Meeting you was the worst luck of my life.
Oh. Oh. That is a messy breakup.
Maybe you're right.
What happened?
He's gone.
That bastard! Tell him we're not done yet!
Shit!
No, this is different. He's gone. It's like he's locked himself deep inside my head. our head. I hate this. I want it to stop.
He just left us?
What are we gonna do now?
Enough! We need to get a move on. It'll be dark before we know it, and every one of you is spewing negativity.
Yeah. I love my
There's a
grandma.
trail over there. Trails usually lead somewhere.
Lady, I don't know who you think you are, but
No buts! I understand that you're upset. Honestly, I'm still coming to terms with the fact that this is humanity's second time around. But if we don't move, we die. And I'll be damned if I've lived this long just to die out here in the cold.
Mood.
No, she's right. Come on.
Anger. Angry Ruby makes me sad. It's not enough that Yang has to pull the bike. She has to pull the bike with a lady on it. Ooh, orchestra version of the OP.
I'm just going to be another one of his lives, aren't I?
No.
Of course not. You're your own person.
Don't lie to him, Ruby.
Don't be a dick.
We're better than that.
Ooh. Ooh. That was well done. Well played, Ruby. Well played. Ooh. And we're back to the wastes, and they have a plane now. God, I really love that line. Just don't lie to him, Ruby. We're better than that. Oh, she thinks Cinder's dead. Still. She ain't, but she doesn't know that yet. I never realized that Cinder has such high heels.
Welcome back.
Is your tail fixed yet?
Hope
Yep.
you missed us as much as we missed you.
Let's go.
Ugh. I love how the whole wastes just kind of have a covenant vibe to them.
Speaking of which, where is our fall maiden?
Don't.
Emeralds, come on.
Don't tell me something happened to her.
Oof.
I will cut off more than just your tail.
Mood.
Careful, little girl. Cinder isn't here to protect you anymore.
Did he just cut himself on her own sword and get off on it?
Oh, don't misunderstand. I am in mourning just as you. Because it appears you failed our queen.
Ooh.
And that is a tragedy.
Y'all are not gonna like where this goes next. Me too, Emerald. Wonder if Joel did that mocap again. Oof. God, the little jingle on her headpiece is just such a nice touch.
I would like you to explain to me how it is you failed so spectacularly.
The Fauna's
With
militia
great
split
effort.
our forces.
Stop.
Ooh.
Let me rephrase the question. Who is responsible for your defeat?
Adam? Raven? He's gonna take the blame.
I take full responsibility.
But that wouldn't be fair now, would it?
Oh.
We all know who's truly to blame.
I don't...
Oof.
Emerald.
Ooh, the way she says her name.
I want you to tell me whose fault this was.
Oh, I love the little people shake that they do.
Now.
Cinder! We failed because of Cinder.
That's right. I want you to understand that failure. I want you to understand why Cinder must be left to toil in her isolation until she redeems herself.
Nice pun. Painful pun.
You mean
She's alive.
you're joking? How could you know that?
Are you questioning our divine savior?
Did he change his ponytail style? I thought it was a low one before.
Of course not. Forgive me.
It's important not to lose sight of what drives us. Love, justice, reverence. But the moment you put your desires before my own, they will be lost to you.
Like your revenge, Hazel.
This isn't a threat. This is simply the truth.
Oof.
The path to your desires is only found through me.
Me too, Emerald. Bitch.
And so we must press on. The sword under Vacuo's academy, Shade.
Ma'am. I have more to report. Crow and the children are taking the lamp to Atlas.
Not if I can help it.
And they're being led by Ozpin.
I feel like she already knew that. Which I don't understand why she...
Soon.
He's the only man with a chance of getting through to Ironwood. If that happens...
I don't know why she's so surprised by this fact. She had Ozpin killed. It would have been safer to have him imprisoned there with her. And had him wither away and not have to risk having to find him again Avatar style.
Leave. Your Grace, I...
Yeah, get the hell out of Dodge. My ex-husband still misses me, but his aim is getting better! Thanks, Taco. Oof. God, those are nice trees. Those are nice-ass trees. There's the trailer shot. Where's Oscar? There he is. My mic's blocking, like, part of the screen.
Look like this is gonna let up.
I just want to get this stupid relic to Atlas. Let's hope we don't have to walk all the way there.
I thought trails led somewhere.
Do you have nothing better to do than to harass a defenseless old lady?
Everyone quiet. Do you hear that?
Sounds like a swing. Ooh, spooky house. God, I know those kinds of gates all too well.
Well,
Brunswick.
at least one good thing happened today.
Don't
It looks
jinx it.
abandoned. It's still better than this.
Come on.
It's
I
a
think we
light
could all use some
snowfall.
rest.
Local drunk man is responsible for 5 teenagers and 1 old lady and is so done with this shit. Why do I have the feeling that's not going to be as simple as just an abandoned place? Those are some nice trees. I'm sorry, I realize I'm still going on with the trees, but those are some nice trees. I still don't get why Salem Ooh. Yeah, the architecture, that just, like, I know it's based on the crystal, and that has a lot of, like, so that's kind of how it is for the Covenant, too, but, like, that has a lot of Covenant vibes to me, and I really dig it. It looks real neat. I kind of want to draw it. I mean, I want to draw everything from, basically, the waste, just because it has such a neat aesthetic. But, like... Like, I think I'm pretty sure I've said this before, but, like, I still don't quite get why Salem had Ozpin killed. Like, I get that it's anger, but she knows that he reincarnates. She knows this. She witnessed it firsthand. She's witnessed it over the past several lifetimes. So why have Cinder kill him back in Volume 3? It would have been more logical and a safer bet for her to... Like, granted, they said so soon, so, like, I guess it normally takes, like, a couple of years for him to reincarnate, or, like, at least a year. It takes a while for them to, like, have that kind of fight for shared space. But, like, would it not be safer to have Cinder use her Fall Maiden powers at that moment? Because she didn't need to fight Pyrrha. There was no need for that. Like, wouldn't it make more sense to have Cinder kidnap Ozpin, bring him to the Wastes, and have him locked up in a cage a la Narnia? Because that way they know where he is. He can't do anything if he's locked tied up in a cage. There's no risk of him reincarnating. She would have known exactly where he was and known that he could have been helpless to spread information or help anyone. It makes more sense. Her plan is inherently flawed in that regard. So, I don't know, that's my main thing. Like, for someone who seems so calculated and who has planned so much, like, to leave her arch nemesis, to leave Ozpin and his reincarnations to chance, even if it does normally take longer, to leave that to chance seems very loopholey. And I guess, it probably is just like a plot hole, but, like, it's just like that. But it's just kind of like, I don't know. Kind of bugs me a little bit. That being said, like, oof. They used a big boy word again. They used a big boy word. I think that's like the third swear we've had in total. Like, actual big swears. Because we had Tyrion called Ruby a bitch in Volume 4. I think Crow said damn in Volume 3, I think. I don't know if we had any in 5. And now Yang said bastard. Fancy. Look at Team RWBY. 17, 18-year-olds old breaking out the swear words. Like, it fit. Like, I can see why they use it, because there's no word that wouldn't have worked, like, as well as had the same vibe. Just, like, where it's like, that jerk doesn't have the same vibe as that bastard. And they wouldn't go so far to be like, that fucker. They wouldn't go that far. Oh, God, Crows. Look, Crow, come on. These poor kids. They're so tired of people lying to them and lying through omission and not saying everything. They're so done with it. They're just ready to die at this point. Like, and Ruby is so hurt because, like, she trusted him and he didn't tell them any of this. They were like, yes, we can stop this. He told them it was black and white, like a fairy tale, but it's not. And once they realized that, and realize that he really has no plan for helping Salem, that they're as lost as he's as lost as they are. Like, because they've been functioning under the assumption that Ozpin has all the answers, when really it's literally, they just found out it's the scene from Toy Story where it's just like, remember your training. I don't have any training. They found out he has no training. So they're like, great, you're as lost as we are, yet you're bossing us around. So it's like, you had some form of, like, not necessarily power, but, like, power and respect in their dynamic, and then to find out that was all based on a lie is like, are you serious? We're, like, living and we have our lives in your hands, and you're not telling us everything. That's not fair. And, like, I feel bad for him, but I mostly feel bad for Oscar, who was yelled at, who had to sit there in the back of his head while Ozpin was being an asshole. And then he's being yelled at by 4 scary teenagers and one bitter man. And, like, Yang's terrifying. I would not want to be at the receiving end of a Yangry Yang. I wouldn't. That's terrifying. Like, she has a gun permanently built into her hand. And, like, he's just like, he's gone, and her response, like, that bastard, and comes at him, like, if you so much as, like, raise your voice at me, like, I'm a little bit like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, in the words of John Mulaney, you could pour soup in my lap and I'd probably apologize to you. So the idea of having someone like Yang be like in your face, I feel like that's the energy that Oscar has. Oscar has the energy of like, you could step on him and be like, I'm sorry, I wasn't a good doormat. Like, he has that small boy energy. And I feel like small boy is very scared now of tall blonde Yang, who literally punched like 8 guys to death. Oh god. Honestly, I'm a little fuzzy on the Volume 5 finale, because I haven't really watched it lately. When I was doing my rewatch before RTX, I didn't get that far. But I'm trying to remember, like, oh yeah, it was Cinder's fault, because she did lose the battle against Raven. I was trying to think, like, I didn't see it was directly, like, I guess it is Cinder's fault. I mean, my thought partially was Adam, just because he was responsible for providing backup, but he was so focused on executing his own personal vendetta that he was willing to essentially destroy all of that backup, and he just focused so much on making Lake's life a living hell that it caused a chain reaction of, problems. I want to know more about Hazel. Because odds are whatever Ozpin was saying about him isn't entirely true, that it's not just that his sister, like, went and failed. I don't think it's just that. So I'm curious what more there is to that, but I do want to know more about his code of honor. Because he seems to have a very strict code. And I think characters like that are very interesting because they'll do things differently that, like, to follow that. And I want to know more of, like, how that works and how his works, so hopefully get more of him. And we saw Tyrion again, with his little nub tail this time. And he is a kooky bastard as always. And I don't like that he cut himself on her blade and was, like, pleased by it. I don't like that. Like, it fits with his character. It made me want to squirm, which I realized was the point, but I'm squirming. And Salem, it's interesting how much she leaned into that part of her power. Because when we first see her, like, use those dark powers, like, granted she was using them more or less for good, but they're never to, like, summon Grimm. And I love how, like, that has been, like, she's learned to lean into that aspect of her ability. Like, she used it to bolster her own magic before, but now she's just, like, fully leaned into it, using her own magic to bolster whatever dark magic she acquired. So having just, like, a bunch of hands come up, that was neat. That was gnarly. I love how those hands look. I absolutely love how those hands look. Like, damn! They're, like, they're knobby and disgusting, and I love it! They're perfect! Like, they have the feeling like they would click when they move, and, like, it's done in such a way that, like, when you draw fingers, you use to try to do, like, an hourglass shape, sort of, if you want, like, knobby fingers, and they have that, and, like, they're weirdly long, and it's, like, some of them seem to, like, I'm a little fuzzy, because it just, like, was on screen. Like, if they usually have, like, the 3 joints, but I think I saw a couple that had, like, an extra one, and it's, like, things that are that close to normal, but just a little bit off like that, are the worst, and I love it, so that's just great. I love watching that stuff where it's just, like, gnarled little hands going up and grabbing things with that normally thin, noodly arms, just yanking you down into a cesspool of black darkness. It looks so cool. It's such a cool aesthetic. I swear. I'm not that weird. Also, RIP, I did a lip sync assignment before I left school, and now I'm just watching, like, the lip sync in the show going, like, interesting how they have to compensate for having, like, just the way that the shader works. I'm sitting here just like, interesting. I was trying to figure out exactly how they have to, like, tweak the lip sync, because you can't always get, like, the way that RWBY is done. It's like a pseudo-tune. It is a tune shader. It's like a pseudo-tune shader, though, and so, like, you don't always get, like, the full, like, roll of a lip as much, because, like, you can't see it as much, just because the way that the style is done, that it's not as clear, like, how deep the corners are in the mouth either. So they have to tweak the lip sync to get it to still read the same way, and it's, like, neat. So that was fun from an animation standpoint. But I hope you guys had a wonderful week. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm intrigued. I love Maria. I want to know more about her. Also, let's be real here. That said abandoned farm, Brunswick farm. Brunswick sounds familiar, and I don't know if it's because, or Brunswick sounds familiar. I don't know if it's because, like, I think it's a brand of beer that I've seen around, possibly. but it sounds familiar. I don't necessarily like that it sounds familiar. It's probably not going to be great things. My brain also immediately went to the episode 50% Off, where they all just were chilling in the abandoned lighthouse telling stories. So part of me is hoping for that. I know we're not going to get to that. But it's also interesting that they're like, oh, you know, it's but like abandoned house is better than this. It was like a light snow drizzle. It was a light drizzle. Like, I'm from the desert, so I don't understand the severity of snow. But like, I feel like if it's like just lightly snowing like that, just keep going. But like, again, I have like no experience with snow, so I could be completely wrong. But I hope you guys have a wonderful week until the next episode. I hope you guys had a nice Thanksgiving, and I usually tweet out this message, but because there's a video kind of overlapping, I wanted to say it as well. I know that the holidays can be really hard for a lot of people. You know, families are complicated. They can be wonderful, or they can be less than that, and I just want those of you who have like a hard time around the holidays to kind of know that yes, blood can determine a form of family, but that doesn't inherently make it your only family. Like, the whole phrase like blood is thicker than water is incomplete. It's the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, which is the family that you choose. The bond is tighter than the family that you're born with, and I believe that's fully true. So if your family is great, I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving with them, and that you got to have a lot of time, you got to see people you didn't always get to see. But if you're one of those people who has a hard time around Thanksgiving and around the holidays, just remember that they're not your only family. There's other people out there, people who will be willing to understand you and listen to you if your blood relatives aren't. And I know that's not much, but it's helpful to try to remember during this season, because when you're surrounded by messages that are like, spend some time with your family, it can kind of feel like an icicle to the heart. So I just hope that you are able to have a Thanksgiving and a Christmas or a Hanukkah or winter holiday that is special to you with the people who accept you and who care about you and who you care about in return. So on that note, I will see you guys next week.